Wonderful. So, Carol, welcome. We finally get to have this awesome opportunity to document your amazing testimony. So,
So
because you've been
I
patching for how long now?
I keep thinking a year, but it hasn't been that long.
I think
Oh
it's
no, it's been
longer.
over a year.
Oh
Yeah,
no, no, not over a year.
it hasn't?
Uh-uh.
Wow.
You sure?
Yeah, Lillian
Okay.
knows. I think
Oh,
it was it was
I
an
trust you, but it feels like it's I feel like it's been longer
I
because it
it
wasn't
was
long
an
after we first did our interview with Lillian that you jumped on board. So, and that was
Hmm.
over a year ago.
Yeah,
well, you guys can figure it out. I don't. I
yeah.
thought it was she keeps referring to August. Maybe it was August of that year.
August of
Yes.
2023. Yeah,
It could be.
yeah,
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 doesn't
Yeah.
seem like that long though.
It really doesn't, does it?
yeah.
Time does fly.
It
Yeah.
does. So tell
So
us, tell us what your life was like before, what you were struggling with, and then what happened after you got on the patches.
well, before I was healthy, didn't have to do anything like that. My husband of 58 years and we didn't go to the doctors. We didn't have to. We were healthy and we ate healthy and got outside and ran around in the woods and all the kinds all the time. He was a forester. So, but when he passed away he was even healthy according to the doctors and everything. They couldn't figure out why he was sick, except he had colon cancer. And I know if these patches had been around then, I know that he would not have died. I know that
Yeah,
it would make a difference. Anyway, so and I took care of him, and I'm a caregiver. So I take care of people, and of course, I would never have him in a hospital. And he was here at home, and I took care of him. When he passed, I was at 84 pounds. I'd always been 110 pounds my entire life. And then uh, this whole situation, I was down to 84 pounds.
oh my goodness. How tall are you, Carol?
I'm 5'3", 3/4. Anyway,
So you got down to 84 pounds.
84 pounds. And then I got to the point where I needed to go have a doctor look at me and figure out what's going on because I had, heart, AFib and all kinds of stuff, rapid heart and everything going on. And so I walked into I don't just go to doctors, I interview them. And if we don't get along, I tell them I'm not going to,
Good for
whatever.
you.
So
You go,
that's
girl.
you learn. You have to be in charge of your medical.
Yeah.
And so I saw this doctor and I explained to him what I was doing and what had happened. And I called it a broken heart. My husband and I were married 58 years. And
Yeah, it's a long
when
time.
they pass away like that, I mean, it doesn't matter who you are. I mean, you have a broken heart.
Yeah.
And that,
Mm.
interestingly enough, the doctor knew exactly what I was talking about because they have a name for that. They actually have a name for that. So,
Takotsubo syndrome.
oh, was it? Well, I don't know. I just call it a broken heart, and I cried a
Well,
lot.
yeah, they call it broken heart syndrome, or yeah, it's
Yeah.
the the name of the man who discovered it.
So I had to make some decisions because I had AFib and my heart was going all over the place. My blood pressure, which has always been normal, was not normal. It was everywhere. My pulse rate was everywhere. And I'm an outdoor active person. So this was all new. And I understood it because I'd done enough health information over the years and learning to say, okay, something's not right here. And rather than put it off, I decided to go to a cardiologist. And of course, when I saw the one that I have, I interviewed him and I said, if you don't behave yourself, I'll fire you. And he laughed and we get along fine. He had to listen to me. And he did. And he still does. And told me
Well,
I know more than any of his patients.
Wow.
So when I had that and had the fibrillation, and it was concerning. They wanted to do a defibrillator, an insertion. And of course, not in my world, but if it had to be, it was important. But just about that time, my friend Annie Reese, she told me about the patches because I had years and years and years and years and years ago, there were patches, not these patches. I had a bunion removed and put a patch on it, and there was no problem, no pain, nothing that healed right up. So I kept
Wow.
asking, I wonder if there's any patches. Of course, you get what you asked for.
Exactly.
I said, I wonder if there's any patches like that around. Well, I kept doing that around the house here. And sure enough, Annie called me and she mentioned it. I said, I knew instantly my answer was there. And
Wow.
my request had been answered. It just came to me very clearly. You get what you ask for.
Yeah.
And then when I didn't know much, I was still floundering around with not enough food in me, and my brain was all kind of messed up, and I was just kind of holding it together. And fortunately, had a renter in the area that he cooked my food for me and did everything like that. But the first time in my life, I wasn't doing anything.
Wow.
It was, and I realized later I learned about sadness. So anyway, I talked to Annie and talked to Lillian. I didn't, of course, Lillian at that point was all new, but she was so helpful. And I talked about the patches. I got the patches. I got X39, X49, Eon. I didn't get carnosine at that time, but Eon and uh, three or
Glutathione. Did you get glutathione too?
not then.
Okay.
I did the first three as
Mm-hmm.
far as I remember. And so the patches came and I put them on and just did them wear over my heart. And within 10 minutes, the AFib stopped.
Wow.
No more fibrillation, and that has not come back.
Wow.
So,
Wow, 10
yeah,
minutes. That's what happened with
10 minutes.
Annie. She
That's what
had,
happened with me, Carol.
yeah.
Like within 10 minutes, my heart stuff stopped. It did.
Oh, it did. Oh, fabulous.
Yeah.
And then, of course, now I have the carnosine and the glutathione and everything. But it was so interesting because it just was different. And I have one of these keep track of your oxygen level and your pulse and everything. And my pulse started becoming less rampant and just kind of settling down. It was still fast, but it was settling down, but the fibrillation went away. So
Wow.
I went to the doctor to check on my defibrillator idea, his defibrillator idea. And he said, you don't have AFib. He said, but we should insert one just as a precaution. It doesn't work in my world. So
No.
I said, oh, well, I go learn about it. I met with the defibrillator guy. I always learn and go follow up on things because it's my choice of what I do.
Yeah.
So, and I made the choice and decided I didn't need that and told him, and he put it in my records, that all of this had changed. So that's on my chart, my medical chart. And I have gotten progressively better. I started being able to move around more again. And then as time went by, I ended up getting shingles here and in my eyeball.
Oh my gosh.
Shingles doesn't feel good at all.
No.
No, no, no. So, I mean, it was painful. It was very painful. And so what I did was I put Eon on here. Was talking to Lillian, and you guys, I think at different times were on too, and it was very helpful. And I put Eon because the it metast it the what do you call it after something, and it still hurts. Oh my gosh. Anyway,
Lingering neuralgic pain or
yeah, neuralgic pain.
yeah.
That I had, it was horrible. In my eyeball too.
Yeah.
Is that the
So
picture that she shows when she talks about that? She has somebody's eye. Was that Carol's
it's not
eye?
mine. It's
Oh,
not mine.
okay. Oh, I think it was actually hers. I take that back. She did
It
something
could
with her eyes.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be. But that settled things down. The neuropathy settled down. The pain hadn't gone away completely, but boy, it was a difference. And but the eyeball still had discomfort, not pain like it was. So I went to the eye doctor just to have him check the eyeball to see if everything was okay because it was kind of blurry and no problem with my eyeball. So that's fine.
Wow.
So
So,
now
so
I
how quick did the shingles go away?
faster than they normally do.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I did the gabapentin, I did all those things right away, but
Hmm.
that I don't like to take meds at all because I don't.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then when the patches came along and I put that up there, that made the difference.
Yeah.
I could relate to something natural like that.
Hmm.
I
Right.
don't
Yeah.
relate to a bottle of medication.
No.
Yes.
Well, and
Oh,
gabapentin makes you out of it too. It's very
yeah,
strong. Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that uh, the shingles went away, the neuropathy was there, the eyeball is there, and it's still a little uncomfortable, but not the same. I mean, this is completely different. And my eye isn't as blurry as it was, and it's not as painful as it was at all. Little
Wow.
discomfort, but I keep putting the E on there, and another one over here for my brain is getting better. And that's another thing that happened was now that I've been on the patches for a while, I'm noticing, holy moly, I remember things from years ago
Wow.
when I was a little kid. And all my memory of those years growing up, everything is coming back big time.
Wow.
So,
That's amazing.
and what I know, and I've learned over the years, you might have the discomfort and you do the solution like the patches and maybe the discomfort goes away and you wonder, well, I'm feeling pretty good. What about this? Do I need to do? No, wait and let the rest of your body come forth with something because these patches, the way I learned about them from Lillian, is it affects your whole body.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
whatever is in your body needs to wake up, and you may not feel it. It
Right.
may not be painful or anything. So I've learned now that I just know things are changing because I can see it when I do something. My my walking, I jumped on a. I've never ridden a motorcycle, but my friend has his motorcycle here, and I said, and it's a dirt bike, and I said, I want to ride that. So sure enough, I got on it. See, I live in the country, and there's woods all around and everything, 7.5 acres. So I jumped on that. He showed me the gears and stuff, and away I went. And too
Good
bad
for you, Carol.
I could have
Oh,
been gone forever, but I had to come back.
oh my gosh, that's so cool. And Carol, do you mind me asking how old you are for our watchers?
I'll be 85 this Friday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday for Friday.
Happy birthday.
Gosh.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
85-year-old riding a motorcycle. That's
Yeah,
Wow.
fantastic.
You
yeah.
don't
That's
look a day over
fantastic.
70.
Yeah.
Well, I used to wear makeup and all of that, and I don't bother anymore. My skin is better from being on the patches and
You
things.
have beautiful
Got better.
skin.
Yeah,
Yeah. And you have, there's a whole community of women, or maybe men and women, near where
yeah,
you live that are all
yeah.
on the patches having these absolutely miracle stories, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't have to talk to them much at all because they figured it out and it's working really well for them.
Yeah.
So,
That's
It
great.
reminds me of the movie Cocoon. Do you remember that movie?
yeah, yeah.
That
Yeah,
movie was a tad cringe, but this is a far better rendition, I think.
Right. But it was like all of a sudden they returned to their youth, right?
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
a
yeah.
fountain of youth. It's really amazing to hear the stories and talk to some of you guys. And Lily and I have talked about going out, like making a visit to Yelm and just meeting with all you guys.
I think it's a great idea. I
Yeah.
think right now we're in the freezing weather, but
Yes. Yeah.
later on, I have two more people that are just getting started now.
I love that. You have a huge downline, Carol.
Well, they're getting there. I
Yeah.
kind of got everybody started, and now I have some new friends and getting theirs started. So,
Yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, I love that all these, so many times, our government, or at least our former government, was if you're over 65, you're kind of a non-entity. Like they just don't even care
exactly.
about you at
They stop
all.
bothering about you. Yeah.
Yeah, they just
Yeah,
would rather
yeah,
you just go ahead and die. And so to see this community of these people that are all over 80 that are
yeah,
reverse aging and becoming youthful and becoming prosperous and having fun and getting healthy and sharing stuff. It's just so cool. I'd love to do, I wish I could do a documentary on it because I think it's just awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
important. That's what I like about, and I've always been a talker, shall we say. Um, and because first thing I do is get online and look up the what the pill or the medication or the patches are all about and
Mhm.
learn about
Mhm.
them.
Yeah.
And because, and then the food that I eat, things like that, I learn about them. And it's made a big difference in my world. Plus exercise,
Yeah.
not,
Yeah.
not just extra. I used to do ballet, but not that kind of exercise. I walked 10 miles when I first got on the patches. And I
Oh,
had,
Wow.
wow.
yeah.
Shoot, that's amazing.
And it was not on a road it was in the trees. I had to
Yeah.
climb over trees and stuff like that. So you go through the woods to the lake.
Wow.
It's 5 miles and then 5 miles back. So, and I felt better and better and better the more I walked. So the combination for me
Mm.
is the patches. I know they're working. I know they're working. So now I have to take responsibility and get up off my butt and get walking. If nothing else, just walk. And a
Right.
lot of times, even in the house, I'll have the phone in my hand when I'm talking with somebody and just walking around, walking around. It doesn't matter where, but combination.
Yes.
I'm totally relying on the patches to a certain degree because I understand about stem cells and I understand how they close up, and that's the aging process. Well, I'm not going to age anymore, so I'm going to keep putting them on. So,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, I'm getting younger all the time, and so that's how I wanted to keep going.
Yeah.
So that's me.
That's so fantastic. Annie, you had a question.
Yeah. Yeah. So Carol, other than jumping on dirt bikes, since you got your youthfulness returning, what else have you done that you haven't done before or that you haven't done for a long time?
Well, I also have a 7.5 acres, and I have a garden and a large garden, and I had to clean it out and then get the maple leaves and get the blower out and very active work. When I look at things, I see things better. I'm seeing it's like I can see the trees like they're talking to each other. And I really am experiencing a lot of fun things like that.
That's awesome. That's
That is
so good.
very cool. Yeah.
10-mile hikes, large property to maintain.
And I like to keep the area all cleaned up. And I live
Yeah.
in the woods, basically there's big, big trees all around my property.
Hmm.
I'm
Wow.
off the grid. Have solar.
Wow.
And so a lot of things like that.
When the new power device comes out, from David Schmidt, you can get that, and I think it's even better than traditional solar. It's a innovative way of using solar energy. So
Yeah, that'll be
yeah,
very interesting.
yes,
Very
yeah,
interesting.
yeah. Yeah.
all the things that he's coming up with. Uh,
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. I can't wait for the water machine to come out. That's going to be,
Sometimes I just
yeah.
have to pinch myself. I'm like, is someone like him really real?
He has
I
20
know
to he has 20 to 30 years of stuff already in the pipeline to come out. Yeah,
it's
and
fabulous.
I got to meet him with Lillian a couple weeks ago, and we didn't know he was going to be there. He was there. And we had a small audience with him on the first day, like 9 people. We got to ask him questions, and then we saw him again the next day because Lisa had to come. So we saw him 2 more times, and he kept seeing Lillian and I, and he was like, "What are you two doing here again?" You know? And I got my picture taken with him, and he said he would do our podcast. He was very excited about it when he found out we were superhero fans, because that's what,
That
he
we're
is.
nerds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're nerds.
Yeah.
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 So
Oh
that's
my
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah.
exciting. Yeah.
Well, it's fun, and the whole business, the LifeWave uh, business is fun. It's not.
Yeah.
I've done things like this before, and they weren't as fun. This is
Mm.
fun, and the
And the
people are wonderful.
people, oh, the people are so wonderful and so nice
Yeah,
and kind and considerate
yeah,
and full of love and wanting to help everybody. And yeah, it's just so refreshing to be around people like this that you can just completely be yourself around.
yes, yes. And
And
then,
also just have experiencing miracles with people you
Yes.
know
oh, nice,
all the
exactly.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, all
Yeah.
the time,
All the
Yeah.
time. It's the
definitely.
Yeah, there's a
best.
new thing every day where Annie or
Looks like
I
Christmas.
share something, go, oh my God, look what happened to her. Look what her story is. And it's just every day there's a new amazing miracle story.
Oh, it's fabulous, and especially understanding about stem cells. And I like it when they do the talk about the X39 and the stem cells and stuff because it is true. Stem cells wake up. I guess we have to call them cells. The
Hmm.
cells wake up. They're not gone and dead and dropped off somewhere. They're
Right.
there. They're
Right.
there. They just need to have the right energy to come and wake them up again.
Right.
Yeah.
I understand that. I really understand it more and more all the time because
Right.
that's exactly what's happening.
Right. And they play triage, if you will, and they go to the, order of importance in your body, what needs repair most. And it might
Right.
not be something that you actually notice or feel right away, but it's something that is vitally important for your survival. And they'll prioritize like brain, heart, lungs, liver, that kind of stuff before they're gonna do something that might be more superficial that some
Yeah.
people are looking for. Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And that's what I encourage the people that get started that, or I'm talking with somebody on the patches and bringing it up. It could, yeah, you notice this right away on these different things you're working on. But all of a sudden you say, well, they're not working. Well, they're still working, but it's quiet where they're working.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so just wait and take a look around at your world. And at some point you're going to say, like this person said, oh my gosh, I remembered how to do this. And I remembered how to do this. Yeah, that's your stem cells waking up.
Yeah, and it
Mm.
really seems to work on the brain quite
Yeah,
quickly,
yeah,
with memory, and
yeah,
people who
right
have
away.
brain or cognitive impairment seem to improve immediately.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that happens.
Even people who I patch or who I introduce to anyway, even if they haven't got a lot of cognitive issues, I tell them to be on the lookout for
Yep.
changes in their sleep patterns and their dreams. If you have vivid dreams, it means it's working because your brain's getting some assistance, you know?
Well,
Yeah.
that's true. And I'm glad you brought that up because that's what's been happening to me now is
Oh, wow.
my brain is waking the lucid dreams. And I
Yeah.
haven't had those for years. So yeah, yeah,
Wow.
Yep.
it's pretty exciting.
That's remarkable, Carol. So it just keeps getting better. I love I love this technology. I love your story. And hearing how it continues to bless and improve your current experience in your body. You are looking younger too. This wasn't on the recording when we first started chatting. Your hair is getting darker than when
Yeah,
you were first in that video with Lillian.
yeah. And then also my sister, got her on the patches, and she had fallen. She's just 16 months younger than I am, but she had fallen and tripped and fell on the cement and hit her head on the cement
Oh,
patio. And so she was having cognitive issues big time, and we noticed it. It was like she was, use the word Alzheimer's, but that's ridiculous. But anyway, so we have our family Zoom call every week, and and I got her on the patches. She puts X39 and X49 on her neck bump, and she's been doing that now, and she's living with her daughter. But it's noticeable. We've all noticed that if she doesn't have those patches on, she starts kind of going off the different trail because she hasn't been on them that long.
yeah.
And when she has those patches on, she's right on. She's
Wow.
getting better and better. So it's very noticeable.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
so
What a
it's,
good sister you are. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
That is awesome.
yeah, it's great to see that because, yeah, when you have somebody have an accident like that, and they,
Yeah.
well, it's like my husband,
Mhm.
if I'd had those patches, he wouldn't have gone the way he did.
Yeah. That's the way
Yeah.
I felt about my parents. If my parents hadn't, if they'd been around or if they had known about them, because they've been around since my dad passed or before my dad passed, but I wish he had known about them. He would have loved LifeWave and he would have loved David Schmidt and he would have probably done the business. He was just very innovative and ahead of his time. And it makes me very sad that I didn't know about them then before he passed.
I know. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. It is. My husband passed. It was sad. I learned the word sad because I was not a sad person.
Hmm.
We're just doing things that was a doer and get things done.
Yeah.
But after that, the different emotions that came up, thank goodness that I had the patches on because
Mm.
the emotion came out uh, with knowledge.
Yes.
It might sound weird, but it came out with knowledge, and I learned about sadness. I learned about gratitude, and all of those different things came forth in my tears with the patches on, and they hadn't
Wow.
for all those years. I had that, so I just was just to get things done and get going. And
Well, it might be a little bit woo for some people, but I think you'll get it, Carol. Have you heard of Veda Austin?
Veda Austin.
Veda Austin is studying water. And
Oh,
so your tears actually, because they're water, they hold memory. And
oh,
so what she's uncovering, yeah, I'll send some info to you later. She's uncovering how much information is held in water in, you run from your tap even, but how you can imprint memory and retrieve information from water. So that would explain to me why you learnt
yeah,
that sadness came with
yeah,
knowledge because it was imprinted with
yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
information
that's
yeah.
from
interesting.
your
Yeah.
experience.
Right.
From my
She even
experience.
Veda has even done where she'll put a bowl of water next to her bed
Uh-huh.
and then she'll freeze it after she wakes up in the morning and it has pictures of her dreams frozen in there.
So she can
Isn't that
capture,
cool?
yeah,
She can
dreams.
capture
Yeah.
the visual
That is
images.
so cool. But
Isn't
that
it
makes
cool?
sense because I learning and getting sadness. I was walking around doing things and whatnot, but crying after
Mm.
he passed and not thinking about crying, just it started happening.
Yeah.
And then I realized that I was learning something from it. So that makes sense what you
Yeah.
just said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be sure to send you some info because that's her work is very fascinating to me.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
And because these are elements of core elements of our survival and our existence is light and water. And so
yeah,
how they interact and what they contain, the
yeah,
hidden secrets of that
absolutely.
is really fascinating to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Oh, I'm excited about more of this.
So, Carol, obviously X39 is a favorite patch, but what would you, if you had to pick, your second favorite patch or, which would it be?
Well, I like the combination of X39 and X49. However, well, it's hard to say. There's carnosine, which is really good. Eon, which I love because I
Mm.
I put it in all different places and it's working. Um, as to have just one patch,
I know.
they
It's so
all
hard to
have their
choose.
own, yeah, they all have their own individual way of
Yep.
unfolding something, and that
Hmm.
unfoldment is happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it other than that.
Mine's Alavita. I love Alavita. That's my
That's
favorite.
another one I haven't gotten. But somebody,
Oh, you're gonna love it. It's
I
amazing.
think Lillian sent me 5 of them. Oh my God,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I have to
Oh
put
yeah.
that. Yeah,
You'll
I felt
notice
the
a difference with
difference
that, Carol.
right away, and your skin will feel like my skin feels like baby skin. When I wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh my gosh. And it's so good. It's David Smith says the second most powerful patch next to the X39, because it some of the things that it does.
I agree with that absolutely. And the experience I had was, well, when you open up the pineal gland,
Exactly.
it's
Hello.
possible.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So Carol, have you tried the energy enhancers? Have you tried the first
yeah, oh
patch that
yeah, yeah. I
do
have
you like
those.
those?
I love them. Yep. I mean, it's hard to say. I like them all.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
They all have an effect.
they do.
Yeah.
All have I'll say the word positive
Yeah.
effect.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good.
I don't usually say that because it's so unnecessary.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're having a good effect.
Yeah.
Each
And
Oh,
I like
beautiful.
the way Lillian explains in her meetings. She explains the working on all the systems of the body, you know?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, she does a real good job. And
Yeah.
with the 2 people that were on yesterday, the people I got on,
Hmm.
she did an excellent job.
She just keeps getting
She's
better and
brilliant.
better. She's so good. She's
We
so
learnt
good.
so much from her.
She
So
knows so
much from
much
her.
about the body and of the brain, and the way
Yeah,
she can explain things is it's really easy to understand her.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Very easy.
Yeah.
So yeah, and she had to be, because there was 2 people that needed to listen to the information, and I didn't say a word. She just went right into it and expanded on it bit by bit,
Yeah.
and they want their side up.
Yeah.
So
Well, she sold
That's
me.
fantastic.
She was the first person I met with.
That's
yeah, well, this has
wonderful.
been fun.
Thank you so much,
Yes,
Carol,
Carol.
for
Yeah.
sharing. We have been, like I said, we've been following your story from a distance from a long time, and we're glad that we finally was able to make this happen because we've wanted to chat with you for a long time.
Yeah.
Well, it's been fun because I uh, know you guys from when I first got started, and I saw actually your
Our
talk.
podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Good.
I kind of follow you. Well, and Lillian will say something, and I'll ask her a question, and we talk about you. So,
Well, and because I think she was one of our first interviews on the patches, because
uh-huh.
we've gone through almost every patch with her, and she'll explain each patch and what it does
Yeah.
and why it's helpful. And it's really great to have a show on each patch.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
Very helpful.
yeah,
Yeah,
It is very comprehensive, very easy to learn from because she keeps it simple. And
she
then,
does.
hmm
so it's working really well. I like the format.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
great.
It's really nice, really
Yeah.
nice.
Well, you're looking fantastic, Carol. Keep up the good work. Keep
Yes.
youthing,
Pardon me?
and keep youthing.
Oh, definitely. I like them.
And you're an inspiration. Thank you for sharing your zeal for life, or despite the sadness that you've experienced with losing your beloved. So thank you for sharing your vibrancy for life. It's contagious.
It is. It
Oh,
is.
thank you. Thank you. You gals are inspiration for me. So
Thanks.
this,
Well,
this
wait,
has
the
been fun.
patches saved both of our lives, so we're very,
Yes.
very grateful. 'Cause we
Yeah.
both had
Yeah.
terrible issues, that were life-threatening, and so
Yeah. That's what I understand.
mhm,
Mm,
yeah,
yeah.
So
So
they
look at
work.
us all here. We're winning together. I love
we
it.
are.
Yeah.